Right, this is the package I've received from HEX, the UK distributor. If I open it up here, this is what you get. It's an ezCAN for in a little bag. That's who I bought it from. Get that zoomed in. So that's the UK distributor. Very good. Posted it straight away. Like I say, I received it within a couple of days, and I ordered it at the weekend, and I've got it. It's Monday now, and I've got it. So jolly good for that. Right, in the bag, I put it open so you can see what you get. Just bear with me a minute. This is what's actually in it. I haven't actually opened it up or anything like that in a moment. So a bunch of connectors. I think these are the connectors that you free wireable, so you can solder some more cables onto these. That's the HEX unit, which is quite a small unit actually. Waterproof plugs. Yeah, it's pretty decent, and that is the CAN bus connector. Yeah, so that's your CAN bus connector. And then you've got some other leads. Now that looks like the power lead, I would assume, or some lead. That might be a CAN bus lead as well. Different CAN bus lead. I'll find out what that is. And some other plugs, blanking plugs for any cables you don't use or any sockets you don't use. So yeah, so that's it. So it is if I put my thumb up, that's how big the unit is. Right, let's get it installed on the bike. Clarify first, I've just been onto the HEX website and just found out what that wire does, because it confused me. Because I've looked on the internet and all the other kits don't have that wire. So basically that wire is the horn input to the unit. It doesn't come via the CAN bus on the oil-cooled GS's. So it requires the input from your existing system, by it sounds of it, onto there, which then will give you a larger output on one of these cables. So that's basically all it is. And you can see now the CAN bus connector in all its glory, and you've got your power lead here, and you've got your other leads, which I forgot to mention. It does actually come with a USB lead in there as well, for when you're connecting into the rear end of this unit. So without further ado, let me get on with the installation and getting this thing on the bike. Okay, I've laid the CAN bus unit out, so you can see. It's a bit of a typical BMW 50mm screw just to get one cover off, which is that, and all the rest of the bits that goes with it. I've done all that. I had a few troublesome bolts. Like I say, this bike's new to me. It hasn't had any copper slip or anti-seize on some of these things, and BMW seem to take great delight of putting stainless steel fasteners into a steel frame, so that doesn't help any corrosion, does it? Anyway, so I've put a copper slip on them, so when we assemble it, it might be a bit better. Anybody else who gets this bike after me don't have the joy or the pain that I've just had to do to get this off. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so the CAN bus, this is your CAN bus lead laid out, so that's you dictate it to now for the length of that and that. So I'm going to put the module there. I'm going to stick the wires underneath this bar and put all this lot underneath this plastic cover like I've just taken off, so it hopefully hides everything. Now the CAN bus connector, I think a lot of other bikes, mine didn't have the optional alarm system fitted, and I think it went in here. This plate would be removed, and then you'd have your alarm unit, and this CAN bus connector would go into the alarm unit. So what we need to do is remove this from here. That's your plug off it. This plug has to stay here because this has got your terminator resistor for your CAN bus, like your end of line for your CAN bus system. So what we end up doing is going to take the connector off that, plug that into here, and then at the other end plug this back into here. and hopefully then that, when you fire the bike up, that should then register it within the network, and then it should be able to suck the data from the ECU and all the relevant bits and pieces, so you can do your outputs and your whatnots on here. So that further ado, let me put all this nice and neat and tidy, hopefully, on the bike, and I'll come back to you. Right, I've just chopped that off. Obviously that was on the sock to make it nice and neat, and I've also chopped the insulation or heat shrink that was on here. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to chop this. I'm going to stagger the joints. So yeah, chop it here, and I'm going to do solder around. That's a crimped joint, so I'm going to solder mine. Just a bit better connection. Okay, now I've extended this thing. Now, if you can, I don't know if you can see. I've got some more of this heat cable sock from Amazon. So exactly the same. Comes in quite a long reel. These are from Aldi in the UK. I suppose my soldering iron. So yeah, so I've extended it now. I'll put it back on the bike. Okay, I've finished the install. As you can see, I've moved it. I wasn't happy with sticking everything in here. I like to be toolkit and any of the little bits and pieces in here. I think design it so it fits in here, which is, you just can't make it neat, so I wasn't happy with that. So we're all good. So I've connected, run two cables up. These are for the auxiliary lights, the red and the orange. The white one is for the auxiliary circuit for a phone, sat nav and such like, and the yellow one is for the brake light. Now, just to let you know how I've routed it, I've taken all this off. There's the bracket that goes here for mounting the seat on. That is down here, which I'll put back on. Route it underneath, tie wrapped it round, up through there, round the body, and up through this part and up. I'll move myself round to the other side. As you can see, the cable, the auxiliary is coming up there, and it's nice and tie wrapped up, so it's away from the actual steering or the handlebars, so they're good. And then I haven't got any lights bought for this yet, for the fog lights, but the cables are just dangling down at the moment. I'll probably call these up. I've got my eyes on some about 50 quid lamps that will go in front of here, which I will do a review when I've done this and connect them up. But I've left them long enough so you can pigtail them up, so either goes either way. I'm thinking about mounting them here on the bike, so that's the front. So if you can see, I'm going to be about there, I would have said, on the opposite side. And coming around, you can just, I don't know if you can make out there, it's just where the cable's coming tied up in and round through here, through underneath, around and up. Now I've used some cable which is double insulated. It's basically a 2-core flex, the flat appliance wiring. It's 0.75mm cable. That's more than sufficient for the spotlights. Spotlights I'm putting on here are going to be 10 watts. I think that's the one I'm after. I don't want anything, it's more like daytime lamps I'm wanting rather than spotlights, just to be a bit more visible. So 0.75 cable does the trick. It's, I think a roughly 4 to 5 amp easy. 10 watts, even if it was 12 watts, 12 divided by 12 is 1 amp, so that cable should be more than suffice. Obviously, like I said, I've extended this cable so I can get the power around. I've just left the fuse there because I've just connected it just recently now. I don't want to put it in until I get everything checked out. I'm quite happy with it, to be honest with you. When you're actually doing solder connections, I'll put a photograph up. It always pays to stagger your connections. So I will show you. I'll show you this now. Right, as you can see, I've soldered these joints now. They're staggered, so there's no way that's going to affect that. That is heat shrink. Short bit put on, makes it easier. And these are going to move over to here, and that one onto there, and I'm going to heat shrink that on. And there's going to be one that goes over the top. This is an example of what you can do. Now the heat shrink's been shrunken down now, so that's that. And then this obviously is going to go over now. I'm just doing this one-handed, just bear with me a minute. Like so. So that's your joint. And then what we'll do, I'll just get the soldering iron and I just gently go over it with the heat at the back of the soldering iron. So you can see what I'm on about. So it's less likely, if the insulation does break down, you've still got the other wire to help. It's always good practice to do it that way. All these have done the same. So I hope that gives some help to people that's thinking about putting this ezCAN or the Denali system in. I think they're one in the same. So yeah, so next step now, I'll go and get the laptop. Okay, I've just plugged my laptop into the device. The bike is not powered up at the moment. The fuse is out, but I think it's driving itself through the USB power supply from my computer, so you can see it's lit up there. I don't know if you can see that, it's lit up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to register. Well, it's asking me to register my device, so it's obviously picked it, so I'm going to do that and I'll come back. Okay, I've registered the product now. It's now asking me to do a firmware update, so I'm going to do a firmware update. Update firmware now. Notice please switch off ignition before continuing. Yep, it's off. So it must be doing a firmware upgrade to the unit. So I'll come back to you when it's finished. Oh, activating update. Maybe it's pretty fast then. Yep, no, so I don't need to come back to after you. So it's done, so that's that done. Connect to device to continue. So right, this is what you get with device not connected. Please check physical. Please check the physical fuse. Right, well that's probably why. So what I'll do, I'll go and plug the fuse in. Here we go. So it's registered that. It's now saying its fuse is okay, so we can set to what we want now. So this is good. Accessory timeout. So let's just go to functions. What's this? HEX channel configurations. So we've got it as default, which is the mode 1. Lights, then brake light and accessory, and that's the one I want. Okay. So turn off when functions are active, strobe when horn activated, strobe and flash. We'll try that. Reverse. Right. So turn off when signal activated, full beam 50% power, running. Let's have it 100% if I'm doing it. Don't think it matters for me because I've only got the 2-wire device. You've got obviously 3-wire mode. If you can, you've got the what they call it, that handlebar wheel on the new BMWs. Mine's an old BMW, it's 10-year-old, so I won't have that function on mine. So that's it, so we're good. So let me just see what else is in here. Diagnostics, channel configuration. What's diagnostics? So okay, so it's got CAN bus, reading CAN bus temperature, horn, So you can actually tell you, that's quite a novel little thing, so you can actually see on the diagnostics what current your device is using on that channel. That's just a good feature, so let's get rid of that. Let's go see what else there is on here. Channel configuration, we've just done that. Upload blogs, about, so that's what we've got. 3-wire, variant 3-wire, it's not 3-wire. Okay, so whatever that is. So we're good. So, right, I think that's it. So connected connected up. Obviously I'm programming mine using my iMac. Straight on, no configuration issues, straight onto the unit. This is now complete, so I don't know if you can disconnect it or do we just shut it down. I think we'll just shut it down. And that's it, we're all done. So what I'll do, I'll just disconnect this. Put the little plug in here, which is really fiddly to get in, I must admit. What's concerning me is that that is still lit up. So I hope that goes off after a time. So I haven't got my ignition in, so let's see. Okay, I don't know if you can see there. The actual unit is winking now. There's no ignition is off, and that is still winking. So not sure what the crack is with that. I'll have to look it up. So yep, so everything's good to go now. I'm just gonna put my bike on, make sure I don't get no errors on the dashboard. It's firing up. That's it. So it says it's charging at the top. Gone green, so it's charging, that's good. That's my bike, and that's the installation again. And oh, it's changed to amber, so I've got an amber flashing now with the ignition on. So that's different, I never saw that before, so I'll have to look that up. But amber, so when the ignition's on, it turns amber and flashes. So assuming that means it's active. Just a summary of what I think about the kit. I think the kit, you know, this bit here, the little CAN bus module and all the rest of it, it's put together well. Unfortunately I've had to extend mine because I didn't like it all shoved in here. So I've done that, and it looks better now. So when I get my cover on, you won't see any of this. You'll just see from here up to here. And it's a bit more waterproof underneath here. Now, issues I had, not really any issues really. One thing I think that HEX needs to address is you need to put a quick start guide in the packaging. At the moment they're giving out it's just like a flyer inside which tells you the 4 kits and the other products that are available. I think it says the GS 911. I'll take a photograph of that and put it up to show you what it is. But that, to be honest with you, it's not very good. If you buy a kit, you want a set of instructions in there at least, or a quick start guide. It helps the common man just to get this thing put together. That's my only gripe. The rest of it seems to work okay. I'm just going to turn my ignition off, make sure this stays charging for 10 seconds. I've programmed it up for, which is off now, so I'll see what that's doing now. So that's still amber, ignition off. Maybe after 10 seconds that goes green again and flashes. Now, yet again, I don't know what these indicators are meaning on the back of this thing. Obviously there's going to be some sort of a current drain here with this winking all the time, so I need to find out what this is and tell you. I'll find out. So it's gone off now and it's gone green, so okay, so that must be in standby mode maybe when it's in green, and then the orange must say ignition's active. So okay, so there you have it. Truthful though, it is an easy system to install, and it's better than putting relays in and breaking into your switches on your handlebars and all the rest of it. It goes with it. It's a bit of a nightmare. Plus you can get the connect your laptop onto it and program it to what you want. Since I put it all back together again, I've bought some front spotlights for the bike, which are on the front here. Just back across. So these are them. These are from eBay. They're about, I think they paid £55 for the pair. They come with a plastic bracket, but that's okay. They're quite sturdy actually. I think they are a Chinese copy, or it's what BMW will probably fit and charge you a fortune for them. But anyway, if anybody wants to install these, I will put a picture or a link or something on the YouTube description so you know what I bought. Yeah, so in all it works good. So I'll put them on so you can see how the ezCAN unit works. So that's the flickering is just the shutter speed of my camera because of the LEDs, but yeah, so that's on, and I've done it, I programmed it now, so when I put the indicator on, the one nearest the indicator turns off and the other one stays on, and when you cancel it, bear with it, you cancel it, it comes back on. The other thing too, let's go back to the front of the bike. Right, how you change the, you can see it's a bit poor, you can't really tell, hopefully I can see on this video. You use the info button, you hold the info button down, he says, I think it should move, there you go. So it's like so you can increase the brightness. I don't know if you can, it's coming through on the video. Every time I press the info button, the brightness changes and it goes to off. Now note, when you do the info button, make sure you don't have the clock visible on here, because I did it the first time, I had a clock visible and I was changing the clock times inadvertently while changing that. To be honest with you, I think they could do a program, the cancel function, to turn your lights off maybe, if you hold that down for maybe 3 seconds or 4 seconds to knock your lights off, and same for turning them back on, but now you have to hold the button on, as you can see, hopefully, there you go. So you get this winking effect every time you turn them on. So now they're set to on. If you turn the ignition off, put it back on again, they always remember the last position they were on. They actually, the brightness increases on the first initial startup, so that's quite a nice little feature. Yeah, so there it is, it's all complete. Hope this video has helped people and not put people off, like I say. I think the results speak for themselves, it's been good. I've got what I wanted, basically a charging port for the sat-nav, 2 front fog lights, spotlights, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, good, and the flexibility to change it whenever I want. Bye for now.